Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is sponsored by Postmates. Download the Postmates app and save with code INSIDE, INSIDE. Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Wednesday.
Be sure you wear a condom, kids.
Happy day before Thanksgiving, everyone. We've got some more Google Stadia drama to report on, as if there could be any more.
Nobody is thankful for the trash fire that is Stadia, and now Google is having to give out refunds.
Good lord. Not only that, but they're dealing with criticism that the games aren't running in 4K despite Google's promises to the contrary back when the game streaming service was unveiled.
But we'll get to that in a second. First, let's talk about Refundgate 2019, because Google has managed to piss off some of its fans even more.
Refundgate, Brian, is that what you're calling it?
Yeah, it's kind of catchy, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. I've never heard of putting gate at the end of something. I like that. I think it'll catch on. Yeah, Black Friday's still a few days away, but Google has jumped the gun when it comes to price cuts, right, Brian?
Yeah, so yesterday they announced that they were adding 2 more games to their Stadia Pro subscription service. That would be Farming Simulator 19 and Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. So that means
the best edition!
Her boobs are even more triangular in that edition. So basically what it means is you can play those games as part of your monthly subscription. It's similar to the way the games each month work with PS Plus and Xbox's games with Gold. Destiny 2 and Samurai Showdown were already included with Stadia Pro, so now it's got a whopping 4 games on its subscription service.
So that's good news, right? They're adding value to their subscription service. That's good.
Yeah.
We should poo-poo on Stadia for that.
I mean, we can poo-poo on Stadia because it's bad news for people who had already bought those games on Stadia.
Oh, thank God. I got poo-poo.
Who bought those games? Seriously. Like 5 people bought those games?
Yeah, and they're pissed.
Yeah, well, and sure, games go on sale all the time, but considering that Stadia is just a few weeks old, it's understandable that people would be, annoyed.
Yeah, as Twitter user Gigaboots put it, I bought 1 game on Stadia. That game is free next month. Lesson learned. Dude, that sucks. Oh my God.
I feel that way about Borderlands 3. I just paid full price for it, and now it's like cut to nothing.
Are you telling me you pay for games?
Yeah, man, I'm a man of the people. But now I told my kids there's going to be no Christmas because Daddy paid full price for a game.
Hear that, Randy Pitchford? You stole Christmas, you son of a.
Yeah, almost immediately, though, Google announced that it'll offer refunds for those games. A Google community manager named Grace wrote on the Stadia forum, "We know that some users have recently purchased these 2 games for their collection because of the proximity between the launch of the platform and the announcement of these titles in Stadia Pro. We're happy to assist you if you'd like to request a refund if you've purchased either or both of these titles, even if it's outside of our normal policy."
So to be fair, oh, he did it. So to be fair, good on Google for trying to make it right, I guess, for refunding it. And they might have to do more of this because it's a distinct possibility that Google will be adding more games to Stadia Pro in the months to come.
All these people who bought the Founders or Premier Edition bundles are getting 3 free months of Stadia Pro, but once that runs out, Google needs to give them a reason to stay.
Yeah, it needs to beef up Stadia Pro quickly before that free period expires, so you'd figure that Google will add more games, which means more annoyed people who paid full price for those games will just see them go free and get pissed.
Yeah, well, free in quotations, because you're still paying the subscription.
You just buy the thing. You buy this really expensive thing and then it's totally free. I don't know what the problem is. So that's one controversy. The other is potentially much more damaging to Google, and it has to do with the quality of the games. But before we dive into the bread and butter, that is some juicy Stadia drama. That's a lot of different textures of food. I just realized that. Let's talk about another way to get that bread and butter. Postmates!
Ooh! Roll the tape!
Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is sponsored by Postmates. When you need red wine at 4 p.m., sushi at 9 p.m., a breakfast burrito at 8 a.m., and ibuprofen at 10 a.m., Postmate it. I mean, you can get truly anything at any time of the day. It's wonderful. Postmates is your personal food delivery, grocery delivery, whatever kind of delivery service all year round. You don't ever have to leave your couch except to go outside to meet the person. It's great. Anything you're craving, Postmates can deliver. They're the largest on-demand network in the US and offer delivery from all the restaurants, grocery and convenience stores, and traditional retailers you could possibly want or need. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, Postmates will bring you what you need within the hour. No more trips to the stupid, stinky store. You don't even need to know where the store is. Postmates will deliver anything to you. We're truly living in a millennial society. Download the app for iOS or Android for free, browse local restaurants and businesses, and track your delivery in real time. For a limited time, Postmates is giving our listeners $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days. That's like 7 burritos. That's awesome. To start your free deliveries, download the app and use code INSIDE. That's code INSIDE for $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days when you download the Postmates app. Anything you need, anytime you need it, Postmate it. Download the Postmates app and save with code INSIDE, INSIDE. Thanks for sponsoring this episode, Postmates, and thank you for supporting our sponsors.
Oh, love you, Postmates, and thanks for telling us all about it.
Autumn.
Yeah, so dating all the way back to the announcement of Stadia in the ancient times of early 2019, Google has talked up the sheer power of their service.
Yeah, in their big reveal event earlier this year, they said it would be more powerful than the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro combined, with a whopping 10.7 teraflops of computing
That's so many
power.
flops! And Stadia boss Phil Harrison tweeted last month that all games on Stadia support 4K.
Yeah, Brian, why is this a big deal?
Well, the fact that you could stream games at such a high resolution, allegedly, with no hardware is the main selling point of Stadia, because gaming hardware isn't cheap, and the alleged allure of Stadia is that you won't need that anymore. You can just leave the computing to Google and stream games to your TV or your computer or whatever, but it seems like it teraflopped.
Nice.
If you know what I mean.
Oh, shit.
Boom,
man.
Daddy's back with some puns.
So yeah, that was the promise anyway, but now that Stadia's out in the wild, some reviewers have found that the reality doesn't quite match the sales pitch.
Yeah, Bungie told The Verge that Stadia's version of Destiny 2 isn't the same 4K version as on other platforms. On Stadia, it renders at 1080p and is upscaled to improve the quality, which means no 4K.
Ooh, Daddy's mad.
Ugh, God, I don't like that.
It is weird. It sounds like something I should be saying to a bored sex worker.
Brian's not actually reading the script, he's just on a sex phone book.
I'm wearing a t-shirt and sweats.
Gross. But it's not just Destiny 2. Eurogamer reported that Red Dead Redemption 2 only renders at 1440p and is then upscaled to 4K on a Chromecast Ultra.
Only 1440p?
What is
Lame. Yeah, lots of people were posting side-by-side screenshots of Stadia versus Xbox One X, and there was definitely a difference.
The website 9to5 Google straight up accused Google of lying about the performance of Stadia games. Damn, they're going right in on
From
them.
the jugular, yeah. Finally, Google responded to the controversy over whether its games were 4K or not, and they kind of threw the developers under the bus.
Nice. Perfect.
I love it. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, what did Google have to say, Brian?
Well, in a statement, they said Stadia streams at 4K and 60 FPS. It sounded kind of bitchy the way they phrased it. And that includes all aspects of our graphics pipeline from game to screen, GPU, encoder, and Chromecast Ultra, all outputting at 4K to 4K TVs with the appropriate internet connection.
Yeah, that is very much like, I know I'm the ringleader here, but these people are really messing up their parts.
Here's the juicy part though. Google went on to say, developers making Stadia games work harder to deliver the best streaming experience for every game, like you see on all platforms. This includes a variety of techniques to achieve the best overall quality. We give developers the freedom of how to achieve the best image quality and frame rate on Stadia, and we are impressed with what they've been able to achieve for day one.
Yeah, we give developers freedom to make their games look as crappy as they want. Boom, blame them and not me. I'm totally fine over here.
The buck keeps going. Yeah.
I know I said I was gonna give you this thing, but it's not my fault. It's their fault.
Google's like, I'm sorry if I made you feel bad. I'm sorry if you felt bad.
Google sounds like a shitty high school boyfriend.
Google went on to say, we expect that many developers can, and in most cases will, continue to improve their games on Stadia. And because Stadia lives in our data centers, developers are able to innovate quickly while delivering even better experiences directly to you without the need for game patches or downloads.
Yeah, what they're saying basically is we give developers the ability to stream games to you in 4K, but ultimately it's up to them, not us. Whoops.
Probably should have
Sorry.
said that at some point, but all right, Google.
Daddy can only stream at 1440p because he has prostate issues.
So yeah, overall, none of this is really a great look for Google, right, Brian?
It is not. It's no surprise that Stadia didn't have the best launch. We might have done a few videos about it. Now we're a few weeks in and they just can't stop stepping on rakes, because even when Stadia is running at its best, it's still not 100% clear who the service is for. But Google has really struggled with the execution, the latency, as well as basic things like, I don't know, delivering the controller bundles on time to people who ordered them.
Yeah, why would you need to do that?
And both these latest stories contribute to the overall impression that Stadia was rushed out before it was ready. It doesn't have a lot of games, and the service itself isn't really living up to the big promises that Google made.
Yeah, the good news is, if you bought Stadia, it's still really early and you can bet that Google is scrambling to fix things.
Oh yeah. Other competing streaming services like xCloud won't be released until next year, so until then, Google has a head start, which is probably why Google rushed Stadia out in the first place, to give it time to iron out all the bugs before streaming becomes more mainstream.
Yeah, and I mean, they have the freedom to do this. It's Google. They have the most money. I don't know, like they have the most money of the world, except for maybe Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, and Google definitely has the money to run at a loss while they fix Stadia.
Yeah, but what's the bad news here, Brian?
The bad news is that the video game industry is filled with consoles and services that launched with a lot of big promises and then died because nobody bought them or they didn't perform as expected. Streaming has been tried multiple times in the past. There's just been a ton of stuff. The Virtual Boy, Atari Jaguar. I mean, there's just tons of stuff that launched and then nobody bought it and it died. So it's early for Stadia, but right now it's honestly not looking great. And you only get one chance to make a first impression. It's not making a good impression so far.
It kind of sounds like, Brian, it sounds like you're talking some shit on OnLive and Ouya in that last statement there.
Whoa.
Boom, roasted. I'm just saying your
roast.
first impression shouldn't be, thank God I didn't buy that.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way right now. Thank God we got one from Adam Kovic.
Wait, did you buy Stadia?
I did not.
I didn't either.
Yeah!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Inside Gaming review. Today we got a little special one for you. We're reviewing the Google Stadia, and just to set the stage real quick, this is a kind of a quick dive in. We didn't want to do a review in progress, but we should note off the top that this thing's gonna change over time. I mean, it's just launched and it will improve, but for right now, for those of you that want to know should you jump in and get this, we wanted to do the kind of state of Stadia as